Hello my sweet friends and welcome to DIY with Nadia. Today we're doing something different. I'm making a shabby chic book page wreath. Before we get started, I wanted to mention that today's video is collaboration with Crafting Cousins Create. They also have a Crafting Cousins channel, but today I'm collaborating on their paper craft channel, which is Crafting Cousins Create. Please check them out and subscribe if you're not subscribed already. I will link their channels in the description box below. To start this project, we're going to need a few things. We need a cardboard for a base. Then you need some sort of a book. My book is about 6.5 inches by 9.5. And my book is a diet book, so I've used it before for a wreath. You know, who needs a diet book? So there you go. And we'll see what else I'm going to need. I'm one of those people who decorates as I go along because I let the project tell me what the project wants a lot of the times. And this is one of those times. Okay. Then you are going to need something to cut your base. I am going to use this little bucket. It's from IKEA. And so the rim right here is 5 inches. And this is a little bit of a tape that I found. And this one is around 3 inches. So that way it gives me an inch all the way around. You can do this any way you want. You could use an X-Acto knife if you want, but I'm just making, little slits to the point where my inner circle is, and I'm just going to cut them off. It's going to be hidden. You're not going to be seeing the actual line, so it's not a big deal at all. Just cutting the bigger ones a little bit more there. One inch all the way around. Next, let's get the book. So I'm going to get my book and I'm just going to use an X-Acto knife. Please be careful during this process. And I'm just going to put lots of pressure on it. Oh, this one looks like I still have it cut from last time. All right, I got my paper right here, and I think I'm going to need more, but that's all right. We can do that later. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this sheet of paper lengthwise in an accordion style. A little bit less than an inch. Maybe that's an inch, actually. You know, this is freehand. I'm not trying to make this complicated. This is supposed to be a fun project. There you go. And back. And we have our little accordion. And now I'm just going to continue going right along about an inch. And the fun part about this project is you can decorate it whatever way you want to. I've seen it done with buttons. I've seen it done with little gemstones. It's just up to you how you want to do it and, you know, what your style is. Just have fun with it. So when you're folding these, and I know they're not going to be the same, so if you want that last one to be the same, all you have to do is right before the last one, actually right here, make sure that this matches this, because see how this one is like, it should be right there, so obviously it's going to be smaller. But I kind of want the front and the back to be the same, because when we're going to fold these over, and if one of them is too short, it's just a little noticeable, but really this is not supposed to be anything difficult. So when it's like this, I just move it back so that the shorter fold is on the inside. And I just continue going. I'm going to finish up this stack right here, but I'm looking at how these are looking, and they're looking quite full and big. I'm not even sure we're going to need more than this. So we'll count them at the end. I'll let you know. But right now, I'm just going to sit here, relax, and just fold little fans. You know what? I am thinking about my childhood right now because I used to love to do these. And we'll go outside and we'll fan ourselves, and we were so cute. Oh, those were the days, my friends. Alrighty, I think I'm just going to continue doing this, and I'll be back when I'm all done. I have 20 of these ready to go. I felt like that might be enough, especially that this is not that big. And all we're doing, just feeding it through and folding it in half. Now, the two ways you can do this is just fold it in half as it is. I'm going to go maybe like 2/4 of an inch or maybe halfway through this. And then I'm going to make the fold. Okay? So a little hot glue right there where we're attaching. And then a little bit of hot glue right here, right there. I'm not going to go higher with the hot glue because I do want it to keep the fanning. Okay, let's grab the next one. Fitting it through. And I'm going to go halfway on here. I'm going to skip one turn after doing 3 of these. We're going to skip a little bit and then do a few more, skip a little bit and do a few more. The reason I'm going to be doing this is as you're going through with each one, it's taking away from going to the edge. So it's going to end up like twisting it and being all strange. So I'm going to like skip one little area. We can always overlap later, and that's what we're going to do. But I'm going to skip almost an inch here. But make sure to turn it in the same direction. So I'm going to do it just like I did before. Now my little paper is against the actual wreath form versus here it started to come off. Okay, as I'm working, this is starting to fan out just a little bit too much, so I'm going to bring this one down a little bit. To be honest, when I started planning this wreath and thinking about it, I did not expect this to be fun, actually. But I'm having a blast. Now, I know I love making wreaths, but this is just so different and out of the book. I've seen this on Pinterest. I've also seen a few YouTubers try it. So I thought I'd give it a try and, you know, put my little spin on it. And this is just so much fun. I'm telling you, I did not expect to be having fun or this much fun. And here we go. This is number 20. Now I'm seeing that they're kind of like poofy a little bit. I don't know how poofy I want them to be like that. Okay. Now I'm just going around and hot gluing anywhere where it's sticking out just a little bit too much for my liking. Now, I wanted something kind of brownish to match my shells to work it all in, but I don't have it. I do have this kind of rusty gold. So I'm just going to kind of just, and it's on the drier side, and I'm just kind of literally just kind of, can you guys see a little bit there? I'm doing it in the air so it's not too, so I'm not too hard on it. And I'm just going to go around the edges of the paper and just kind of, do you see what I mean? I think maybe like that. There you go. This seems to be doing a better job. I'm absolutely loving the way this is coming out. A little bit on the If you would have had a really wet ink pad, I would put it on a sponge, then do this, because it would just be too wet. But this is not new. This is kind of dried out. And I love that because I'm able to control how much I'm putting on here. I'm going heavy on a few of them, not all of them. And I can't stop myself is what it looks like. All right, all right, all right. Hands up. Went a little bit too much on there, but you know what? I love that. I absolutely love that. All right. Now it's time to put our little shells on. But before we do that, let's work the bow in. I'm starting with this black grosgrain from the Dollar Tree. First measuring out a tail, and I'm going kind of longer on it. You can always make it shorter, right? Can't make it longer, but you can always make it shorter. And I'm just going to hot glue it in place. Dab of hot glue. Okay, because the tails are a little bit sideways, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick it up right here. And this is a little trick whenever you're working with grosgrain, and then just pull it in to where you want it. Don't worry about that fold. We're going to have other ribbon on it. And if, let's see here. I just want to pull this one back a little bit, just the same. While it's still hot, I'm going to pull it back on here. There you go. Because the other ribbon I will be using will have more of a flow. Okay. Let's put this aside. Here's our black one. Now I'm bringing in this one, and this is just a farmhouse ribbon. All right. From here, I'm making my loops. That's gonna look good. Make them a tiny bit, like tiny bit smaller than the other one. See how this one's going to fall regardless, but the one that's grosgrain, we kind of had to put it in place because it's more of a sturdier ribbon, but it's still my favorite. I absolutely love it. Okay, for a third ribbon, I do want to use this lace from the Dollar Tree, and this is the ivory one. And we're gonna make this one smallest, especially that it is it's going to be flimsy. So that's why we wanna make it small. If you make this too big, it's not going to be pretty. Now careful hot gluing this because it is porous. Just going to put it right on top and then press and hold. A little hot glue right there. And we have a little 3-fold bow. And I'm going to put it on the side. That way we can put shells all around here. And hot glue it in place. Okay. As it happens in projects, we make up our minds and then we take it back. I just don't feel the shells here anymore. I just don't feel like they're gonna go, but I do feel like these little babies are gonna go, and these are the wooden beads. And I'm just going to take various sizes and start hot gluing them. And these are raw. I'm not going to stain them, nothing, just as they are. They're going to stand out on their own. This is going to be so super pretty. Starting with the big ones, I'm just going to put them around, and then I'm going to move on to the smaller ones. I just kept on hot gluing and burned my thumb a little bit. You know how it is. But kept on hot gluing, and then we're going to put one more right there in the middle of the bow. For the back, I decided to just grab a piece of the farmer's ribbon, and I'm just going to hot glue it this way. And you don't want to do it at the top. You want to do it towards the bottom here, because that is where the most weight is. So you want to do it towards there, and it'll hang fine. See, I'm doing it right now and it's fine. What do you guys think? This is totally different than what I usually do. This is kind of vintagey, kind of shabby chic here. And I think it turned out absolutely beautiful. Now I just gotta get all that glue gun spider webs out and I'm ready to display.